entering the DTSR radio studio located deep inside your subconscious. You will now be guided on a 1-hour journey beneath the surface of your conscious mind. This expedition will use pulsating low-frequency waves to explore the deepest levels of the universe inside your head. The journey will be led by our chief neural-audio researcher, SUBMERSIVE. Your descent begins now.
Alright, got my ice cream.
But I don't.
It was too good. You had to.
I inhaled it on the walk over.
You had to do it.
And now it's a sad day.
Everybody's gonna love the sound of me eating ice cream on the microphone.
But don't you know it's ASMR?
How do you feel, Derek?
So what have you been up to, man?
Same
I've
old.
seen you in the desert a lot recently. Like I wasn't like personally there, but I've seen your name on everything in the desert.
I mean, COVID went in, canceled all the shows, but the desert still
Kind of.
sucks. Kind of. Okay, yeah. It canceled all the shows where everyone lives, but in the desert, that's where it really thrived.
It was a good time for counterculture.
It was a good time for counterculture. Plus, it's not really like the indoor clubs would really vibe with my style of music, anyways. So it just made sense on all sides.
I feel that.
Yeah.
You don't like have any desire to like get back into like warehouses that aren't 3 hours into the desert.
I absolutely have all of the desire to play a show in LA. Because then I know that a lot of my friends that have absolutely zero desire to come out to the desert, they would come out to something that they can easily drive to and then drive back by the end of the night.
Yeah, like half the time I can't get my own girlfriend to come like out to shows in the desert. She's like, "Is it windy? Is it cold?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's the fucking desert."
That's fair. I took mine out to the desert last week, and that was a whole thing. I think she partially expected it to be like an Insomniac style rave where just like everything that can possibly keep you comfortable would be there, and that is clearly not the case at all.
Yeah, it's more like going to live on the moon for like a weekend.
Basically, yeah. You bring everything that can possibly keep you alive and or kill you, but it's entirely your responsibility to bring that.
Bring a bunch of food, never eat it.
Exactly. I've definitely come back with just like, why did I even pack this? Why did I bring a grill? And like, be too lazy or incapable of lighting it.
But the oh, what's it called? It's not. What's the? It's not sake. What's the?
Soju.
Oh, the soju. The
Oh,
cases of
yes.
soju are always crucial for the desert. If you're
Oh, yeah.
preparing for a trip into the desert to listen to aliens,
I would recommend you bring anywhere from 36 to 54 bottles of soju for every case of water that you bring. Case of water.
it's basically water. It's desert water.
It's desert water. It's desert water with a little bit of flavoring in it. And I mean, I swear to God, last time I brought 54 bottles out into the desert.
54. That's like a strange number.
Well, it's served in packs of 6. So I bought 9
Okay.
boxes of just all the different flavors. And by the end of it, by like Sunday
Just 9.
morning, yeah, I bought 9 boxes of it. Sorry. That was terrible.
Why didn't you go for 10?
I don't know. I think at 99 Ranch they have 9 flavors.
Oh, so it was one of each flavor.
It was one of each flavor, but a box of 6 for each flavor. So I just got one of each flavor. I put it into the cooler and I realized, oh wait, I have to put ice in here still.
No, you just freeze one of the cases.
Just freeze one of the cases.
It's perfect because by the time it melts, you can drink.
No.
But it's
not
soju,
how
so
it's
it's probably got like a
soju.
really low freezing point.
No, it freezes faster
What is
than
it? It's
water
like-
would.
What? Really?
It freezes faster than light. I put a bottle of water in the freezer and I put a bottle of soju. Soju froze faster.
That's weird.
That is weird. But it was delicious.
Maybe it's the glass.
It's probably the glass, yeah. But
We're getting
definitely,
really scientific here. Today.
definitely, if you go out to the desert and you're the type of person to drink alcohol as your extracurricular of choice, I would definitely recommend the soju. I believe it's not like I drank all 54 bottles of soju over the course of that weekend. I distributed it around
He's
amongst
lying.
my friends. Okay. No, I'm not lying. I did drink a good majority of it. I just did not finish it entirely myself. But I gave a good amount to friends, and some of them were artists that were about to play like literally 10, 15 minutes later, and I made them better DJs.
Okay. It was. Oh yeah. What? It was your birthday.
2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago.
How was you had your desert birthday?
I had my desert birthday, played right after Astral Projection.
Oh, that's tight. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like they brought in the sunrise, and then by the time I played, it was like actual crackhead hour, which is perfect. Actual crackhead hour, playing like
You got the three
foresty. I have the 3 zombies on the dance floor, which wasn't really 3. There was a good like 10, 15 people there, cracked out. Like foresty music into dark side, and the faster you go, technically the later in the night you should play. It's a secret. If you play at like 7, 8 in the morning, all the crackheads are out and they're just like, it's the last win before I can go to sleep. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah, that's usually like when I'm trying to go to sleep in my car and it's like shaking with a.
Well, now, I think if you give desert parties another chance, but
I love
you
desert
know,
parties.
you
I'm
know
just-
fully, you know
If I give
full
them
well
another
in
chance.
advance. If you give them another chance in the sense that you know exactly who's playing at what time, so you're not gonna get, what is it, sideswiped by, or I guess sideswiped by a bunch of high tech. Then I think you would enjoy Crackhead Hour.
I've played that hour, but
Isn't
you
it
know,
Crackhead
I go-
Hour?
What?
Isn't it Crackhead Hour though?
Oh, yeah, but I usually take it in the other direction. I'm like, what would I want to hear right now?
All right, some nice chill prog, probably some dark prog, and cheese.
No cheese in the desert, man. The desert is a non-dairy environment.
It's a non-dairy environment. I forgot. Everyone there is.
I save the cheese for the clubs.
I don't know, man. I feel like if you played the desert parties that book not psytrance, cheese would be actually a good move there.
Yeah, I don't think those promoters even like know I exist.
That's a shame. Or I think they do know you exist, but they don't know what the concept of a fee would mean, so you wouldn't go out there anyways.
Not like a. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot here, but like, I've played some events for very little money because I
Very true.
just wanted to do it.
No, that's true. I have too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It depends
pretty
on
much like every Psytrance show. Psytrance promoters, I love you. I love you. Yeah, I was gonna say, Nate always like would put you at the beginning of events because he knew like, like you were gonna play way too freaking fast, at like 5 p.m. the first day, and so everybody else has to just keep with that energy. I don't know if he did that consciously or not, but it definitely worked.
It worked. It worked. I
'Cause,
definitely
like,
still play
remember
way
I
too
walked
fast.
up like one time we were like, there was somebody like before you, but we were like the early in the first night, and you're like, yeah, I got it 160, and I'm like, all right, dude, the sun's not even down yet.
You know, it's gotten better for the last few shows.
No, you're just getting better set times that are more appropriate for your music now.
Very true. I know that Qualia last year played at like 2 a.m. the first night, so it was
See, that's more appropriate.
way more appropriate. Pitch black, cannot see anything, but then just fast music. So like, whoever's out there, I know you're out there somewhere. I can't see you, but
you're out there.
go crazy. I will feed off of the thought that you're going crazy.
Okay, Neo. I know you're out there.
I don't know, man. That sounds like Liam Neeson from Taken.
Oh, and I will find you.
I will find you.
I will find you, and I will rape your ears. Oh, who gave me the internet, man?
But the internet allows us to make all of our troll tracks.
That's true.
Yeah.
With our completely licensed, reproduced samples.
Well, I mean, what is it? The 15% rule. As long as we just like destroy it enough.
Yeah, apparently,
fine.
like with the Anchor remix I did for you.
Did we get
Like,
popped?
What?
Did we get popped?
Yeah, dude.
Really?
Yeah, it got rejected from stores like twice.
Oh my god.
I still need to put it up as a free download.
Well, it's because you just have to.
Well, yeah, you hid it enough in the original, so we got that one through.
You gotta get the clean layer, and then you put another layer with manipulator on it, and you just vocode it, and then you put a third layer with like stutter glitch, and you just run that over the clean, but it's still discernible, so it's clean.
See, manipulator is one of those things that like I can't use that in like my trance production because like it doesn't like have any concept of like a key, you know?
Oh, that's true.
Like it's literally just wild.
Whoa, wait.
You just like
I feel like you can run it, but like, you know, if you tune it in terms of like the harmonic knob,
yeah.
and you turn
But
off
then
the
when it
never touch
start-
the smear.
Oh well, yeah. The smear, like I swear to God, like you barely turn that on, and it's just like it just sounds gone.
It's lit though. I wish I could find another vocoder fucker upper like that.
Oh, like manipulator?
Like manipulator where it's still creative, but like there is a level of like I want to retain a good amount of things to it, which I feel like there are.
What? Yeah, like that entropy EQ is like good for like taming that back down.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, I have to download
And
that tonight.
like not a vocoder, but I've been using Shaperbox a lot
I still
because
I-
like
I
you can keep it in time. You just like MIDI trigger it, and then
see.
like it's got like the time envelope like module. Like you can basically like time stretch and like stutter.
I see.
And then you can like do envelopes for the distortion too, which is really cool. I'm sure you would probably set it on like some weird like 7 and 1 beats.
Oh yeah. Whatever is the most weird time, so that when it re-triggers and it should be the same, it's not. It's perfect. Like running kilohertz
All these
transgate
squares
on
make
like
a
11.
circle.
Another good tip is to run kilohertz transgate on like 11, but like 164 or 163
Yeah, for absolute confusion.
for absolute confusion. Then at that point you can run Shaperbox, but entirely run just pan function, so essentially pancake, but then you could add more things to it just to make it more weird. That's how you can do the whole let me do an atmosphere but then make it as chaotic as possible if I wanted it to be a lead, but keep it processed like an atmosphere. Yes. Yes.
You have gone all the way down the wormhole, bro. You remember when you used to make uplifting trance?
Oh, I absolutely love it. I miss making uplifting trance until I would put something that slow and just be like, no, no, I'm sorry. That and like melodies will just never be a skill of mine.
But you love K-pop.
I do. I like listening to it, and like, I know the amount of work that someone would do to create that, only for it to be denied so many times until it turns into that K-pop song, and it's lit a year after the guy started the project, probably, if not more. But K-pop is lit. I wish I can make that for real, but at the same time, no.
Oh, you just like open up arcade and find like the cheesiest loops, and then just put some like big white beats drums under it, or like the Lex Luger stuff.
Oh,
You got it.
man. That sounds like a whole thing.
A little loud pack, sample pack in there.
If I can automate it with, 4 modulators on Logic.
See, you just like you have too much fun with the like engineering part of it.
With the automated
a pop record,
aids.
like there's not, you don't do any of that.
I know, I know. I have a neighbor that lives down the street from me, and he produces pop music. He sent me a screenshot of his Ableton project, and there's there's literally like 15 channels for the entire project. And he told me, it's like, bro, this is a massive project. I'm just like, what do you mean? I sent him a screenshot of my project, 215 channels. I was like, oh, hey, I'm going to stem this out for a collab. It's currently sitting at
like
2.4 gigabytes.
And like, when you send me stems, it's like, well, weird sound, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I do this thing where I label all of the channels, literally like lead 1A, lead 2B, lead 3C1.
Not conducive to productivity, bro.
Not at all. So then, like, if I have to go back to whatever that is, it's like, oh, what was the original sound from the synth channel? What sound was it? Okay.
See, this is... Of course, we're going to have like an Ableton Logic discussion. It's inevitable.
What, the crackhead DAW?
The crackhead DAW.
It's absolutely the crackhead DAW.
I just like throw all those channels, like I bounce them out into one stem, and then I throw the channels into a folder, because I can just pull the channels right back in.
That's a whole thing.
Ableton wins, bro. Ableton won a long time ago.
I'm pretty, yeah. On the creative aspect of just like being a crackhead and just being able to have a workflow that seamless, yes. Yes, you guys have one.
Thank you. I will, on behalf of all Ableton users, I will accept Ambassador of Logic's concession here.
I mean,
It was always the best.
To be fair, I have Ableton on my
I know
computer.
DAWs.
I know DAWs, okay? I know DAWs. I have Ableton on my computer as well.
It's a very bigly DAW. See, not small.
Not small, but very bigly, just...
So, what, promo time. What you got coming up, bro?
Promo time. I sent an EP to my home label, Goa Productions. It's called Bunch of Crazies. So over the last, 2 years, I've had these dogs. My family calls them the Pussycats. I don't know. I don't know why they're called the Pussycats, but...
Your dogs?
My dogs, they're called Pussycats.
They're about cat size.
They're about cat size, but they clearly still act like dogs. Them together, I refer to them as Bunch of Crazies, because all they do is run around, bite each other's butts. One of them specifically likes cuddles, the other one just likes stuff. Stuff meaning could be food, it could be those annoying ass squeaky toys. So both of them together are called Bunch of Crazies. And for that EP, it's a 3-track EP featuring this other song called Too Fluffy. and this third song called Muffin Man, which is the direct response to Ice Cream that I released the year before.
Oh. If you guys don't know, that Blackpink bootleg I did was a dare from Riley.
It's like, hey Clayton, you wanna take this K-pop song called Ice Cream? It's featuring Selena Gomez and this K-pop group called Blackpink.
I think it was. I was like, I can fucking remix anything into a trance song, and you're like, okay, here.
Okay, here's K-pop. It's like, make psytrance
I
with it.
love that song, man.
Oh, I love that song too.
It triggers the inner child, you know.
Oh yes, especially at 150 BPM psytrance.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Rana's daughter loves it.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh yes.
she loves psytrance in general.
It's a very, very tasteful daughter. She has very, very good music taste.
No, it's like, you know, it's like it's ingrained in our DNA. Cause like that rhythm is like the oldest rhythm really ever. Like some prehistoric man, like before we were even like developed into Homo sapiens, was like. And then they started like doing it in circles, and people were like, and then the other people were like, and then that became ritualistic, and psytrance is just like the modern form of like a ritual, you know?
Very true. Very
It's
true.
a cultural gathering where you go to like celebrate the world. You get outside of like society and like you celebrate the planet and nature. You can actually see the stars.
Right.
Like that's what I love about the desert events is, you know, like after you play, you just like
yeah.
lay down, probably freezing your ass off.
Probably freezing
But
your ass off.
like you
you're
can
looking
like
at the
look up and see the universe, and you're like, oh yeah, like this is like what we forget living in a giant city with 12 million people. Like the stars
Very
are on the
true.
ground here.
Very, very true. Yeah. That's a very, very nice aspect of going to the desert
Very
parties.
deep.
It is a very deep aspect, and I feel like,
Just don't drive an Audi.
hey man, rest in peace to that Audi. I basically ran that into the ground.
The ground ran into it.
Very true. All right. Pro tip: if you drive a sedan and you happen to be booked out, or even just attending a desert event that just happens to have, or that just happens to be located not on an actual pavement,
Which is all of them.
which is just all of them. Don't drive at 50, 60 miles an hour on a dirt road.
Were you really going that fast?
I was going that fast, yeah.
What? Because you were late.
Yeah, I was pretty
Here,
late.
Go ahead, tell the whole story.
I was pretty late. I was going 50, 60 miles an hour. And then the road was especially destroyed. There was rocks everywhere. Then eventually, like, I noticed that as I finally finished that whole road out there, got to the parking lot, I run into this Asian guy. His name is Tyler, who's just blitzed out of his mind. He was like, "Oh, you know that your tire's flat, right?" I was just like, "What do you mean?" And I get out. It's not just one tire that's flat. It's 3 tires that are flat.
Wait, I didn't know that part. I thought one of them just fell off.
One of them completely just bursted, and I was just driving on rim. There was 2 other tires that were still kind of drivable, but you could see like an actual piece of debris punctured into the tire. So I'm just like, okay, I think I could safely get out of the desert, but as soon as I get onto pavement, the first order of business is to find a tire shop. There's no way that I'm gonna go drive another 200 miles back to LA like that. Yeah.
I had AAA tow me from like Temecula to LA after a sidetrack event.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Oh God.
Actually, it was in the middle of a sidetrack event, and I drove back down in a rental car. The things we do for sidetracks.
The things we do for Psytrance. But now, fast forward, that happened back in October. So fast forward to now, I learned my lesson after essentially destroying a German engineered car that should just never be taken anywhere outside the city. Now I have a truck, and then I'm gonna just do all of the truck things now.
And so like you got a truck during COVID, so you like haven't experienced the downside yet, like
Of
LA traffic.
of LA traffic, I have
and
not.
like using a lot of gas. Well, I mean your work's kind of far.
Work is pretty far, but
What's your miles per gallon in that thing?
on a good week where I am just not actively driving like someone who owns a truck, I average about 20 miles to the gallon.
Oh, that's pretty damn good for a truck.
It's pretty good for a truck.
When you get that lift, that's gonna go way down, son.
In fact, yeah, once I get the suspension and the KO2 tires, and then start putting stuff modded onto the bed,
Can you please put like some Hello Kitty stuff on it too, though?
I'll add those. I think they're called Tsum Tsums, where it's just like those little Disney plushies and like Weeb plushies all across the dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will definitely do that.
So I was just picturing. You remember Too Fast, Too Furious?
Is that the second one?
Yeah. Obviously, Too Fast, Too
Oh,
Furious.
man.
There's
Oh,
two
man.
in the name twice.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was.
I'm sorry. Do you remember like the like girl with the? I guess she was Asian. But she had like the like Hello Kitty car that was all like wrapped in like Hello Kitty. It was pink, and it made like
man.
anime sounds, and the computer system was all like.
Do you want me to do that?
Like those YouTube videos are now, you know, the ones with the little anime people.
Oh
It's
yes.
like- yeah.
I should definitely do that.
And you have to like drive around with it playing like the music from like a key generator.
Oh,
Some chiptune
yo.
at all times.
The R2R like weeb music, high key fire. Like I would just
There are
leave
some
that on.
sick ones, man.
I would just leave that on and be like, yeah. But then it would loop, and eventually someone would come into
It's
the
all
room and be like,
8-bit.
what is this? Why is this still playing 15 minutes later?
It's like you remember the GoldenEye like lobby music? It was like.
I don't remember GoldenEye. I didn't have.
But it was one of those things like you just like leave the N64 on.
Oh yeah,
you
it would
just
just
hear
play.
You just hear, because it was like the like it was like metal noises and stuff. You'd be like, oh, is it N64 still? What? Were you not an N64 guy? Were you a PlayStation guy? Were you, dare I say, a Sega guy?
No, I actually didn't have a game console until I was like 9 years old. So my first game console was the Xbox.
Yeah, I didn't get an N64 until I was 10. Oh wait, maybe I was younger than that. Maybe it's 8.
Yeah, like 9-year-old
You
me had an
the
Xbox.
the one with the green button on
The one
it.
with the green button and like the coolest little like opening slime ball thing that eventually turned into the X.
What?
I don't know. I should sample that opening because I feel like all like the
Oh,
chill
you mean
artists.
the loading screen?
Yeah, like when
Yeah.
you first turn it on and like
Yeah.
Xbox turns on, because like all the chill artists like Giraffage and stuff, they always sample the original PlayStation song, but who has sampled the Xbox song?
I'm sure it's out there.
Probably. But I would love to do that. And then my first video game was Halo 1 as a 9-year-old kid. Oh, that was great. That was great, trying to beat that alone on Legendary at the age of 9.
I just what was like the mode where it was like you had no shield and it was like only sniper or only the rifle?
Wasn't that Halo 2? And that
Oh,
was
was it?
And that was SWAT. You had no
Yeah,
shields.
yeah.
You had no. It was the equivalent of like how hardcore in Call of Duty is now. You have no HUD, no shields, and everyone just has a battle rifle.
Yeah, that was like pre-Call of Black Ops.
Yeah, that was great. I remember I got decently okay at that game that I entered myself into like game battles and MLG, and then I realized that I was not great at all.
Dude. Yeah, they're like some crazy like 8-year-olds out there that would just whoop your ass.
Oh yeah, and then they would proceed to talk shit, and yeah, since then I'm just not a very avid video gamer anymore. I will play Rust though. You should buy those feet pics. $5.
What? What are you talking?
I play this game called Rust, which is the equivalent of rated R Minecraft. Like when you spawn, you are completely naked, completely naked. And what we do is there's a game camera in there, and we would roll up to someone, guns out and everything, and we would force them to take off their shoes, and we would take a picture of their feet. And in order for them to be let go without getting killed, they would have to buy that feet picture from us for the equivalent of $5 in game currency.
I'm glad we don't live in the alternate reality where like you're an actual gangster, you know, like in like the Purge world.
Oh man, imagine
Right.
imagine that was like
it's
the
Purge weekend.
Purge weekend.
I'm gonna get
Would
so
you like
many
to buy
feet
some
pic-
feet pictures? I mean, speaking of that, Triceratops and I made a song literally about feet pictures in Rust. It's called Parmesan Feet. I think he's gonna release that on his EP with Goa Productions. It's
You
literally
guys
a
would.
track about feet.
So yeah, what else you've been working on? Or do you have any shows you can talk about?
Memorial Day weekend, I am going out to the land of Amish people and moonshiners for a party called Psychedelicological.
Oh yeah, I saw the flyer for that.
Yeah, I think it's like Stereo Oxide's going out there, Dribble, Swell, off the top of my head. I think I have
People are
no
like,
idea.
"Who the hell is
There's
he
a
talking
whole bunch of people. Well, okay, so Dribble's from Looney Moon, Stereo Oxide and Swell are from Blacklight Records. Both of them are, all three of them make incredibly great, groovy, wacky music. And then there's me, amongst all these other people that I'm sorry that I forgot. But yeah, that's my first time out in that neck of the woods. So I think that'll be a very, very interesting party.
Be fun.
Huh? It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Hopefully,
I've like still never played on the yeah, no. I'm from the East Coast, but I've never played over there. Like not as submersive.
not as submersive.
I
Would you
played like
play it?
college parties. I played my 8th grade school at the beach dance. That was my first gig.
That was your first gig?
Yeah.
What'd you play?
Definitely some Yin Yang Twins, some Lil Jon. What was that? Teen drinking is very bad. Yo, I got a fake ID though. Tipsy.
I don't know any of these songs.
You don't remember Jaquan, Tipsy? Everybody in the club getting tips.
Oh, that's the song?
Yeah.
No.
You were like 7 years old.
I was
No, I'm
probably
just
7
kidding.
years old, and
You're
like
like
by
a
the
year
time I
younger.
was like coherent enough to listen to music on my own, because I grew up with hip hop and R&B from my parents, I was just like, no, absolutely not. Let's listen to Iron Maiden and Tom Petty. Let's listen to both ends of the rock and roll spectrum.
Oh yeah, that's what I listened to. But that's like,
Well, okay, so
well, like
I
those records over there.
my very first school dance was prom. I've never been to like
That's the worst
homecoming.
one.
I know. And like when I was in high school and prom rolled around, that was also the same weekend as my 18th birthday. So literally I spent prom
Did you get
doing
chocolate
prom
wasted?
things, and then right after I took my date home, my cousin picked me up, drove me to Santa Barbara, took me to a strip club for the first time, only for me to
Oh, that
get
was at
a
Zane's
dance.
house, right?
Oh, on Zane's house. Ah. Yo, that girl was hot.
Oh God. Was that the whole story?
No,
She was hot?
I found out that I had a crush on this girl named Rachel when I was like 12, 13 years old. My cousin got me that dance with that girl, and it ended up being Rachel. And I found out after the fact, and I was just psychologically destroyed for a good like week or so.
Oh, the
But I
girl you had a
found
crush
out
on was now
my
a stripper?
childhood crush was paying for college by being a stripper in Santa Barbara.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. That dance was amazing. Would I go again? Probably not.
So, you got to dance with your childhood crush on your prom night.
On my prom night.
It was just in the weirdest way ever.
Well, okay, so I went to prom with an actual prom date.
Yeah,
so I
that's what I'm
I
saying.
did very regular prom stuff, but then once it was birthday festivities, then it was the dance with Rachel.
The universe was like, oh, I knew I forgot to do something. This kid wanted he wanted to dance with his childhood crush at prom. I remember him saying that when he was like 6. All right, let me write that in the script. The
Oh,
God
God.
at home.
The God at home. He's like, hey, universe works in particular ways.
Why did I just imagine Jeff Bridges as God? He's sitting there like, oh yeah, I can make that happen. All right. Oh, have we been talking too long, bro? What? Yeah, you want to play some music?
Sure.
All right. All right. Well, I got to start it with, hold on. Stage transform.
ice cream. Catch me in the fridge, right where the ice be. Looks so good, yeah, looks so sweet. Hey, baby, you deserve a treat. Diamonds on my wrist, so he call me ice cream. You could double dip, 'cause I know you like me. Ice cream, chillin', chillin', ice cream, chillin'. Ice cream, chillin', chillin', ice cream, chillin'. Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, chillin'. Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, chillin'. Ice
will be honored if you will play last two for us. Please. Please. Please.
Sex Panther by Odeon. It's illegal in 9 countries. Yep, it's made with bits of real panther, so you know it's good.
It's quite pungent.
Oh yeah.
It's a formidable scent. It stings the nostrils. In a good way.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm gonna be honest with you, that smells like pure gasoline.
They've done studies, you know. 60% of the time, it works. Every time.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
You're about to get a serious beatdown.
No, I don't want to go to a party in your pants. 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 Mr. Burgundy, you have a massive erection.
So, at least hypothetically, because of this massive gravitational influx that occurs within a black hole, it appears quite possible that it can actually distort both space and time. So the question is, once we cross the event horizon, will we be able to travel through a black hole to see what lies in the beyond? And if we were to do this, what price would we pay? How far would scientists go?
get a sniff, please?
Listen good, Peter Parker, Pig Buck. There are three things I hold sacred. Jesus, pussy, and groovy gutterball championship league bowling.
Are you my mother?
thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me, man.
Internet, thank you for sticking with us through a 1 hour of crazies and like 40 minutes of talking about nonsense.
Absolutely. Thanks for
Feelionics, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Alright, we will be back next week with another special guest because I don't know who it is yet. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great week.
See ya.
Peace.